Hi, welcome back everybody. It is the Aspiring Gearhead, and today's episode of the Struggle is Real journey, I'm going to do something that's actually been in the works for a while. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this in my previous videos. I imagine I did, but basically when I got the car, I think one of the first 1 or 2 times I took it over to my mechanic and had him do something to it. He also noticed that my CV joints were going, and he said at some point, yeah, you should get those dealt with. It's not an immediate thing, but it is something you want to deal with, when you get a chance. 6 years later, I have a chance. So here we go. So here are the CV joints, or CV drive axles, whatever the hell you call them these days. But yeah, here go these, and funny thing is I actually bought these about 3 months ago. They've just been sitting in my garage over there ever since. I actually had stuff on top of them, which made it hard to get them out now that I'm actually putting in the work. Along with that, I also went to Harbor Freight this morning and bought a bunch of crap like a big socket for the axle nut, pry bar, hammer, so on and so forth. You'll see what I end up doing. First things first, I'm going to go change into a shirt that I don't mind getting dirty. Then I'm going to jack up the car, take off the front wheels. You've seen me do that a bunch of times, and I'm not really sure how I can make it interesting and not have it take forever. So I'm just going to skip past that part, and we'll pick right up once the wheels are off. And there we go. Change shirts and move to the other side of the car. So I've already taken off the tires and did a couple more things actually. First thing I did was disconnect the battery. I doubt that's really going to have anything to do with what I'm doing, but I'd rather reset my preferred radio stations for the 17th time than do something that hurts me or turns my car into a giant paperweight. So there you go. Also, I detached the ABS and brake lines. Just make sure they don't get in the way, because I think at some point I have to turn the wheel and I don't want anything to get caught. And also, while we're at it, two fun things that I actually did relating to this. First thing, I bought a new light. I didn't even try looking for anything like the one my uncle gave me, just because I was lazy like that. While I was grabbing tools, I figured, oh, this might be a little easier to stick somewhere because it's smaller, and also the base is magnetic, so it'll stick a little bit better. It won't stick inside the splash guard unless I mount it to something metallic like that or whatever. But yeah, oh, that worked too. But yeah, the liner, no dice, because that's plastic, obviously. And then the second thing that relates to this, I mean, it doesn't relate to the car, but it relates to pretty much how I'm recording all this, is I realized I need to look directly into the lens, not the viewfinder. I mean, I'm cute, but it's kind of always looks kind of off when I'm looking this way, so now I'm looking here. But yeah, I'm cute. Damn. Whew. Anyway, back to what I'm working on. Okay, first thing to do is to remove the cotter pin and then the axle nut. And we're back on track now. Okay, next step is to loosen the nuts on the end link. The end link is out. Next, I'm gonna loosen the nut on the lower ball joint right here. It's kind of hard to see from this angle, but yeah, right there. I'm an idiot. I was turning it the wrong way. Okay, now for a couple whacks to the spindle and or ball joint to loosen it up. Yeah, from this angle, ball joint would be easier. Not only is this a horrible angle, but I'm also left-handed, so ain't this a bitch. Now to remove the nut from the ball joint. Okay. Now the ball joint is out. And now to start working on getting the axle out. Now to break the axle free with this hammer. Not gonna lie, kind of worried, but it's a learning experience. So the axle is out of the rotor now. Just need to get the other side. I've got a drain pan down here because I'm pretty sure some AT fluid is going to leak out. And I've got the pry bar to do it. So exciting. Now, I am so happy that this gave me the opportunity to break out the little buddy. The very first tripod I bought when I started doing this channel lets me get a good view of under the car. Honestly, I wasn't even sure if that was the plan, but yeah, it worked out great. So yeah, glad to use this little guy again, and then the big guy too. But yeah, right now, now the axle is out. You can see all of that going on right there. And right here you can also see the reason why my mechanic told me that I should have this replaced. The boot's pretty much broken and flopsy. I'm not sure how floppy that's supposed to be, but yeah, definitely not supposed to be, but definitely not supposed to be a broken boot. So yeah, gonna go ahead and replace that. Now let's take a look at its replacement. Old, new. You could probably tell from the shine on the ends, but yeah, this one looks very good, and the boot is still intact and rigid. So should be much better for my car once I get this back in. Okay, it's in the hole at least. Damn, I'm a man-child. But anyway, yeah, it's in now. But one thing that they did mention, on the end there's a little snap ring. You gotta make sure that that fully catches or it's not gonna stay. So make sure I feel that snap, and then we can move on to the next part. And there we go. The CV axle's now settled into the transmission, so now to deal with the other end. And back in you go. That takes care of the passenger side. Now for the driver's side. Right there. Since it's, from what I can tell, it's pretty much the same thing. I can speed this one up with a cool little time lapse with some lo-fi or well, whatever I find on Adobe stock. So let's go. Man, look at this one. It is so much worse. Look at all the oilness. Look at all the brokenness. I gotta find the actual words for those. But yeah, and this one, check this out. This thing is super floppy, man. Apparently, this thing went out with the boys. Met a cute girl, but had too much whiskey. So I'm like, he just ain't there. I'm like, sorry, bro. So yeah, let me unwrap the new one. You can see what that one looked like. And here's the new one. So much cleaner, so much shinier. This side has a little bit of play, but not, you know, this much. You know, don't get that whiskey D. So, time to put this one in. This means I do have to use a torque wrench, obviously, so based on the last time I used the torque wrench, of course, pray for me. A couple of the YouTube videos I show for saying 175, so maybe, but when I looked online, I show a range of 145 to 188, so I figure I'll start out low, so there's less of a chance of me pulling another torque wrench incident, and I can go from there.
You'll notice it.
Thank you, Jesus.
Now that all that's taken care of, there's just two more things I gotta do before I take this thing out for a quick run, just to make sure everything's where it should be. I gotta tighten the lug bolts, but before that, cotter pin. Yeah, I imagine I might have to make a few little cuts here and there on this one just to get it so that it matches this one. And you can see the smaller end is much shorter on the old one, whereas this one, they're pretty close together, so I think I'm gonna have to clip this a little bit. But yeah, figure new axle nut, new cotter pin. And I don't mind putting in a little work being resourceful. So here we go with these. Man, lighting's a little too good. But yeah, now that everything's reattached, tightened up and all that, time to drive. See if I hear or feel anything that seems kind of off. Or, you know, on the positive side, if the drive is so much smoother. So I'm gonna go get something to eat. Right now I'm doing about 30, and yeah, seems okay. So yeah, I managed to get up to about 40. I mean, I know I'm trying to be an optimist, but I'm always on the lookout for the worst. It's like my mom said, hope for the best, prepare for the worst. But yeah, so far it's feeling good. I don't hear or feel that click when I make a turn. And the vibration I feel, I even saw like in my rearview mirror and stuff, that's gone. Of course, that was mostly on the highway. Yeah, I'm up to 45 miles an hour, which is I mean, I spend more time on the freeway than I do on streets usually. I mean, depending on the day, that can change, but most of the time I'm on the freeway. So this range I have less experience with these days, but yeah, it's feeling good. It's feeling very smooth. I like it. Yeah, figured this would be a good spot to get some eats. And I'm back at home. The drive home was just as good as the drive there, so I think I did a good job. Nothing looks to be flying out or anything like that. I'm gonna let it sit overnight, and if there are any leaks because one of the axles didn't go in all the way or something like that, I should be able to see it and deal with it from there. But yeah, barring anything else, it's all wrapped up. This is one of the more extensive things I've done to my car, so I'm feeling pretty proud of myself, and I feel a little more confident about using a torque wrench. I imagine that's after that giant fuck up from the valve cover. That fear is probably gonna stick with me for a while, but I'll turn it around. So, and yeah, I'm not only gonna turn around, I'll also keep working, doing other crazy things. Also, I'm almost where I need to be to buy a new car. I'm just short of a few $100s, you know, depending on what I go for in whatever I buy online. Right now I'm checking out Facebook Marketplace, Auto Trader, Craigslist, so on and so forth. Might end up going with a Miata, might go with something else. I have a whole lot of ideas. We'll see what works out logistically. But until then, I'm gonna keep working on my car. I don't think I've ever actually said it to you guys in this video, but the ultimate goal, I want to get this car looking as good as it did when it was first made. Like I don't really see much potential in it for anything sporty. So right now I just want to get the thing to look like showroom fresh. And for those of you wondering why I'd go through all of that for this car, it's to see if I can. Right now the whole investment is knowledge. So if I learn how to do things, like even if I don't get it all the way clean, learning things to do that can get it close to clean would be great. And it'll definitely let me know more and more about my car. Although yeah, once I get an opportunity to work on something within the engine, which is the main thing I want to learn about, I will. But yeah, right now my plan is to get everything good. But anyway, that's enough of me rambling on. I'm gonna cap the video here. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good YouTuber stuff. Till next time, this is DJ, aka Aspiring Gearhead. See ya.